Good evening and welcome to class 789. Unit Light Prakash Part 2. Question number 1. Uh, to make the study easier, I have written some definition in question number 1. Today's part. Define the following terms. Number A, ray. I have already defined light. Light is a form of energy which gives the sensation of vision, and optics is the systematic studies of light. Already finished. Today's topic, ray. Okay. Question number 1, define the following term. A ray is a very narrow path of light denoted by an arrowhead. For example, AB is a ray of light coming from A to B. If a light ray comes from B to A, it is written as BA. Beam. A beam is the collection of several rays. There are three types of beam. Parallel beam, which don't meet each other, कहिले भेट नहुने. Convergent beam means focusing. They meet at a point and coming from different distances or directions. एक ठाउँमा भेट हुने, meeting. Divergent beam, just by the word divergent beam, all the rays go away from a point. एक ठाउँबाट चारैतिर छरिएर जाने. They go to all directions. Shadow, छाया. A shadow is a light or dark patch formed when an opaque object or a translucent object blocks light falling on it. That means when light falls on a translucent body or an opaque body, it blocks light and a dark patch is formed. Translucent body वा opaque body ले light लाई block गर्दा जुन dark patch form हुन्छ त्यसलाई नि हामी भन्छौं shadow, छाया परेको भन्छौं. Umbra, completely dark. Penumbra, light eclipses like solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Two types of eclipses. The best examples are eclipses, penumbra and umbra. Image. Shadow and image are completely different. A shadow does not resemble the object, but the image of a body, an object, animal or any living or non-living thing resembles it. जस्ताको तस्तै हुन्छ. So, an image is the optical representation of an object or a point formed by the real or virtual intersection of reflected or refracted rays. There are two types of images, real image and virtual image. Reflected rays अथवा refracted rays एक्चुअली मिट भएमा अथवा सिम टु डाइभर्स भएमा, एउटा पोइन्टमा आएर भेट भएमा वा त्यो पोइन्टबाट चारैतिर डाइभर्स भएर गएमा त्यहाँ इमेज बन्छ. The condition is either reflected rays or refracted rays meet each other or seem to diverge from a point. That point is focus. Refraction already done, but again reflection, returning of light is reflection, but refraction is the process of bending of light ray when it travels from one medium to an optically different mediums is called refraction of light. Light has different velocity in different mediums. So light is refracted or light is bent. एउटा मिडियमबाट डिफ्रेन्ट मिडियम अथवा डिफ्रेन्ट डेन्सिटी भएको मिडियममा लाइट जाँदा लाइट बाङ्गिन्छ. त्यो बाङ्गिने प्रोसेसलाई चाहिँ भनिन्छ रिफ्र्याक्सन, आवर्तन हुने. Optical instruments, the devices which use light to work are called optical instruments. Here actually lens and mirror also, but they are generally used. Like periscope, telescope, microscope, binoculars, etc. are some optical instruments. Another instrument is kaleidoscope, microscope, binoculars. They are very important optical instruments. Question number 1. Define the following terms. Another question number 2, definition, but related to, again, define after drawing. First of all, draw and define only. Question number 2, pole. Here, the pole, first of all, let me draw a diagram of a mirror. See, this line is called the principal axis. So, first of all, it is better to draw principal axis, pole P, focus F, C for center, parallel ray, meets. Actually, what is a pole? Actually, you कुनै पनि mirror, either concave mirror or convex mirror को central part of the reflecting surface. The central part of a reflecting surface of a mirror is called the pole. Pole P. Generally, pole, it is the center part of the reflecting surface. If it is a sphere, what is the center part? This one, center part. But in geography, North Pole and South Pole, it is not like North Pole or South Pole. It is central part, बीचको भाग, यो भाग. But here, but it is not the pole. It is not the pole. The pole lies in the center. ठिक्क बीचमा पर्नुपर्छ. Central part of a reflecting surface is called the pole of the mirror. In the figure, P is the pole. And what is the focus? What is the focus? जहाँ parallel भएर गएको light either actually meet हुन्छ, यसै actually meet हुन्छ, or seem to diverge. यो केसमा seem to diverge हुन सक्छ. जस्तै यसरी parallel भएर गएको रे के हुन सक्छ, यहाँबाट डाइभर्ज हुन्छ. फोकस फोकस बुझ्नुको लागि, इन केस अफ कन्केभ मिरर, इन केस अफ कन्भेक्स मिरर. अब क्लास 10 मा चाहिँ कन्केभ लेन्स र कन्भेक्स लेन्स सब दुईटा छ. यसमा इन केस अफ कन्केभ लेन्स, कन्केभ मिरर और कन्भेक्स मिरर, I would like to write down the definition. What is the focus? The focus is the point at which parallel beam of light either actually meets. In which case? In case of concave mirror. In case of a concave mirror, the parallel rays of light after reflection, at which parallel beam of light either actually meet. Here it is better to write after reflection. Parallel beam of light after reflection. After reflection or refraction, either meet or seem to diverge. Parallel beam of light meet at the focus. In case of concave mirror, in case of convex mirror, the parallel beam of light seem to diverge. Seem to diverge. यो फोकसबाट चारैतिर गए जस्तो लाग्छ. Either seem to diverge in case of convex mirror, in case of concave mirror, the parallel beam of light actually meet. कन्केभ को लागि एक ठाउँमा मिट हुन्छ, कन्भेक्स को लागि त्यहाँबाट डाइभर्ज हुन्छ. त्यसलाई भन्छ फोकस. अर्को छ फोकल लेन्थ. फोकल length. The distance between the pole and the focus is focal length. The distance between the pole P and the focus is called the focal length. It is denoted by here example F. Capital F is the focus. Small f is the focal length. What is the difference? Capital F is point focus. Small f is focal length. PF, the distance between the pole and the focus is called focal length. हामी फोकसिङ गर्ने भन्छौँ नि, लाइट कन्भर्जिङ गर्ने भनेको फोकसिङ गर्ने. फोकल लेन्थ एन्ड प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस D. Principal axis. What is the principal axis? The line joining the center and pole, or focus and pole, joining the center C, focus A and pole P is called the principal axis. The principal axis is a straight line which passes through the midpoint or central portion, pole P, focus and center of curvature. यो तीनटै पोइन्टबाट CFP बाट पास हुने जुन एक्सिस छ, स्ट्रेट लाइन छ, त्यसलाई हामी प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस भन्छौँ. इट इज जस्ट लाइक एक्स एक्सिस इन म्याथमेटिक्स. इट इज जस्ट लाइक एक्स एक्सिस. प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस. नम्बर डी प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस. नम्बर ई center of curvature. Center of curvature C. What is the center of curvature? Just like this is a sphere. If you draw, this one is center, pole, focus. Focus is between center C and pole P. यति बुझेपछि यसको आइडियाबाट यहाँ पता हुन्छ. CFP, center, focus and pole. What is the center of curvature? It is the center of a sphere of which the mirror forms a part. स्फियर को जुन सेन्टर पोइन्ट छ, जस्तो सर्कल को सेन्टर जस्तै, इट इज द सेन्टर अफ द स्फियर of which the mirror forms a part. It means a mirror is a A spherical mirror is a part of the sphere, and the center of the sphere is the center of curvature for the in case of mirror. It is denoted by C. Denoted by C. Center of curvature. Radius of curvature. Radius of curvature small r. See, what do you mean by radius of curvature? The distance between pole and center. Pole. Distances are always measured from the pole. पोलबाट मात्रै डिस्टेन्स मेजर हुन्छ. त्यसैले रेडियस अफ कर्वेचर मिन्स it is the distance between the center of curvature C and the pole P. CP. It is denoted by small r, which is double the focal length. It is also double the focal length. That means focal length is half of the radius of curvature, and radius of curvature is double the focus. Focal length को double radius of curvature. Focal length is half of the radius of curvature. Question number 1 finished, 2 finished. Now, it is better to write down, to draw. Then only distinguish. Question number 3. In light, especially for class 8, you have to draw a diagram of a glass lamp. Draw a neat ray diagram of a glass lamp to show refraction of light through it. To show refraction of light through it. How to draw refraction of light through it? Solution. First of all, I would like to draw. पहिला के बनाउने? Technique. Draw glass. यसरी glass lamp बनाउने. Drawing technique. Then only I draw. एउटा लाइन यसरी गर्ने, यसरी सिधा लाने, यहाँबाट सिधा लाने, अनि डेन्सर रेयर टु डेन्सर आउँदा टुवर्ड्स, फेरि डेन्सर टु रेयर यसरी नगरेर सिधा यसरी टु प्यारालाइन यसलाई टिपेन्छ. इन्सिडेन्ट रे, रिफ्र्याक्टेड रे, इमर्जेन्ट रे, एंगल अफ इन्सिडेन्स, एंगल अफ रिफ्र्याक्सन, एंगल अफ इमर्जेन्स. दिस one is the glass lamp, normal. So first of all, the longer one. What is this? This is a glass lamp. So here, draw normal line. Draw an incident ray, name AO. And here, this line actually goes straight. Again, what happens? It goes, instead of going, it is bent away from the normal. These two rays are actually parallel. See, AO is the incident ray, NO is the normal, OB is the refracted ray. This angle is the angle made by the incident ray with the normal angle of incidence. The angle made by the refracted ray with the normal refracted ray. Angle of refraction. This one is the refracted ray. These two angles are equal, alternate angles. This angle is angle of emergence. Now AOB, then PQRSOB. This one is C. Suppose this one is D. Small d. See. Now here index. Right here index or index लाई यस्तो गर्ने, index लाई AO. AO is incident ray. NO normal. OB refracted. OB refracted ray. BC emergent. BC emergent ray. And D lateral displacement. Here AD is parallel to BC. AD is parallel to BC. Now angle I, R and E. I means angle of incidence. I for angle of incidence. R for angle of refraction. E for angle of emergence. Here PQRS is glass slab. PQRS is glass slab. Here PQRS is a glass slab. AO is incident ray. NO normal. OB refracted ray. BC emergent ray. AD is parallel to BC. D is the distance between two parallel lines, AD and BC. The parallel line sign, this one. The distance between the two parallel lines AD and BC is D, called lateral displacement, because AD is parallel to BC. And angle I is the angle of incidence. Means if you have to define what do you mean by angle of incidence, you can define just from the figure. The angle of incidence is the angle made by the incident ray with the normal, or the angle made between the incident ray and the normal. Angle of refraction R. The angle made by the refracted ray with the normal is angle of refraction. Emergent angle of emergence. The angle made by the emergent ray with the normal. PQRS is a glass slab, which is very important. It is a very important device which is used to show refraction of light. कसरी refraction light हुन्छ, light कसरी refraction भएर जान्छ, bending of light हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा यो यसले देखाउने हुन्छ. यसको फेरि incident ray AO, OB refracted ray, BC emergent ray, AD parallel, D lateral displacement, I angle of incidence, R angle of refraction, E angle of emergence, PQRS class. यसलाई बनाउने तरिका फेरि म यसले देखाइदिन्छु. How to draw? Actually, drawing technique. See, first step, draw glass slab. Second step, see, यसलाई सिधा लाने यसरी straight. Then when a ray of light passes from rarer medium to a denser medium, it is bent towards the normal. Draw a normal. You see that it is bent away from the normal. It is bent away from the normal. Angle of emergence R I A O N. This is B, this is C, this is D, P, Q, R, S. In this way, you can draw by using a scale pencil neatly. For the exam, especially for BLE, question number 3. Question number 4 is related to actually state scientific reasons. State reasons. Any questions can be asked related to the mirror. Mirror सँग सम्बन्धित कुनै पनि क्वेशन दिन सक्छ. A convex mirror is also called a diverging mirror. इसको आन्सर हुन्छ convex mirror is also called a diverging mirror. Why? See, what is its function? It is called diverging, called a diverging mirror because it diverges. Half of the answer is in the question. A convex mirror is also called a diverging mirror as it diverges a parallel beam of light passing through it. यसबाट पास भएको सबै यसले डाइभर्ज गर्छ. So it is called a diverging mirror. It diverges, therefore it is called diverging mirror. A concave mirror is called a converging one. Why? Because it converges. Answer: a concave mirror is also called a converging mirror as it converges a parallel beam of light passing through it. What is its function? It converges, so it is called converging. Convex mirror diverges, so it is diverging mirror. A concave mirror converges a parallel beam of light, so its name is converging. For example, see, parallel beam of light after reflection it converges. It converges parallel beam of light to a focus. C number related to refraction of light. So reflection of light सँग भयो. One question, convex mirror. A convex use, okay? Your reflection सँग सम्बन्धित भयो. Now use सँग सम्बन्धित. A convex mirror is used as a side view mirror in vehicles. नेपाली भेहिकलको लेफ्ट साइड र राइट साइडमा कन्भेक्स मिरर प्रयोग गरेको हुन्छ. वाइ? वाट इज द रिजन बिहाइन्ड इट? देयर आर टु रिजन्स. नम्बर 1, टु अभोइड एक्सिडेन्ट्स, एन्ड another reason, to see the objects coming from behind. Because a convex mirror forms always virtual and erect images. भर्चुअल इमेज बनाउँछ र इरेक्ट भनेको साना साना इमेजहरू, धेरैवटा अब्जेक्टहरू हामीले अब्जेक्टको इमेजहरू देख्न सक्छौँ. फर्स्ट अफ अल एन्सर, यसलाई चाहिँ एन्सर हेर्नु. अ कन्भेक्स मिरर forms erect, virtual and diminished images. Diminished means smaller images. ठुलो अब्जेक्टको ठुलो होइन, सानो सानो देखायो भने धेरैवटा अब्जेक्ट एकैसाथ हेर्न सकिन्छ. The driver can see many objects at a time and he or she can avoid the accident. A convex mirror forms virtual, erect, virtual and diminished images. So it is used to view vehicles and persons, especially persons or others, like and some animals coming from behind, especially to avoid possible accidents. If there are no convex mirrors, there may be more and more accidents. So to avoid such possible accidents, the convex mirrors are very helpful. सानो सानो पनि देखाउँछ, एकैचोटि धेरैवटा देखाउने हुन्छ. त्यसैले कन्भेक्स मिरर धेरै युजफुल हुन्छ. क्वेसन नम्बर 4C. Now 4D related to refraction. Now 4D related to refraction of light. दुईटा जति म बनाउँदैछु. 4D. A coin or fish inside water seems raised or looks raised. माथि उठेको जस्तो लाग्छ. Why? हामी खोलामा माछा मार्न जाँदा अथवा कुनै चिज यो ग्लासमा पनि हामीले गर्न सक्छौँ. जस्तो हामीले ग्लासमा यो गऱ्यौँ भने म एक्चुअली यसरी हामीले कुनै पनि चिजलाई यो भित्र राखेर हामीले हेर्ने हो भने केही हामीले देख्न सक्दैनौँ. डिस्पर्सन हामीले गर्न सक्छौँ. Dispersion of light. If there is sunlight छैन, you can see dispersion of light. 7 colors. A coin or fish inside water seems to be raised. First of all, I draw a simple diagram for this. Suppose this is water, dense and medium. This is air, rare medium. सीधा लगाएर अब के हुन्छ, away from the normal हुन्छ. See, when light travels from water to air, what happens? The refracted ray is bent away from the normal. It means the light coming from A seems to be coming from A dash. अर्थात् A बाट आइरहेको लाइट, तलबाट आइरहेको लाइट यो अब्जेक्ट चाहिँ अलिकति माथिबाट आइरहेको जस्तो लाग्छ. अर्थात् यो बडी चाहिँ रेज भएको जस्तो लाग्छ, बट द बडी इज नट एक्चुअली रेज, बट इट सिम्स टु बी रेज. इट इज एट अ ग्रेटर डेप्थ, तलै हुन्छ, बट इट सिम्स टु बी एट लोअर डेप्थ. A coin or fish inside water seems to be raised when a ray passes from a denser medium, say in this case water, or write, it is better to write from denser medium water, or it is better to write in another way, from water. When a ray passes from water, its denser medium, to air, rarer medium, what happens? When a ray passes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it is bent away from the normal. It is bent away from the normal. Bent away हुँदा टाढा जाँदाखेरि तलबाट आइरहेको लाइट अलिकति माथिबाट आइरहेको जस्तो अनुभव हुन्छ. It is bent away from the normal. So, a coin or fish inside water seems to be raised. The answer is due to the refraction of light from water to air. The ray is passing from water to air, means denser medium to a rarer medium, so it is bent away from the normal. It means the object coming from a greater depth seems to be coming from a lower depth. अलिकति तलबाट आइरहेको लाइट चाहिँ अलिकति माथिबाट आइरहेको हो कि भन्ने यो भने चाहिँ यो पर्सनलाई यहाँनिर पढ्न सक्छ. 1.33 times हुन्छ. एक्चुअली A is 1.33 times at a greater depth than A dash. A dash भन्दा A चाहिँ 1.33 times अलिकति तल हुन्छ. So you have to multiply by 1.33. If a fisherman wants to catch a fish, he or she has to plunge his or her knife or sword to a greater depth. अर्थात् कुनै पनि मान्छेले माछा मार्न पर्यो भने त्यो यस्तो जुन माछा छ यो स्वर्ण अथवा कुनै नाइफ यसलाई अलि 1.33 टाइम्स तल प्लस गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. डी ई नम्बर रिलेटेड टु रिफ्र्याक्सन अफ लाइट. अब बेन्ड भएको a glass rod or stick or pencil, any object dipped obliquely. Obliquely means छड्के, सीधा होइन. Dipped obliquely inside water in a glass beaker seems to be bent. यो बाङ्गो भयो जस्तो अनुभव हुन्छ. What is the reason? Actually, what I showed glass slab, but it is a glass prism. यसलाई हामी यो लाइटको लागि हामी ग्लास प्रिजम भन्छौँ. What is this called? Glass prism. सम्झनु होला यसलाई. ग्लास प्रिजममा how many triangles are there? 1, 2. There are 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. 1, 2, 3. 3 rectangles, 2 triangles. It is called a glass prism. It is used for the dispersion of light. So dispersion is the splitting of white light into 7 colors. अर्थात् यहाँबाट सनलाइट पठायो भने 7 कलरमा ब्रेक हुन्छ, स्प्लिट हुन्छ, जसलाई हामी स्पेक्ट्रम भन्छौँ. त्यो पछि नै आउँछ. A glass rod or stick or pencil dipped obliquely inside water in a glass beaker seems to be bent. Same figure, similar figure. What is the reason behind it? Shape. Or glass, a glass rod. A glass rod or stick or pencil dipped obliquely inside water in a glass beaker seems to be bent. Seems to be bent. Why? Due to the refraction of light. Due to the refraction of light from water denser medium to air rarer medium. Actually, why? The refracted ray is bent away from the refracted ray is bent away from the normal टाढा गयो जस्तो लाग्छ. So the stick or glass rod or any object which is dipped obliquely inside water in a glass beaker seems to be bent, but not vertically. Not vertically. It is obliquely. Obliquely यसरी छड्के पारेर. Not vertically. Making 90 degree is wrong. 90 degree मा हुँदैन. एक्युट एंगलमा यसलाई डिप गर्ने. Question number 4. Now next time I'll write down some differences and ray image formation. This was for today.